Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Academy for Civil Services. And I welcome you all to the learning series via News in Focus. Today's topic of discussion is bit important. Why? Because India has developed its own indigenous hepatitis A vaccine, which is named as Havisure vaccine. We'll see and understand the detail about this particular vaccine, and in general I'll give you understanding about the hepatitis A. If any question that emerges in prelims examination and even for many other state government or one day examination that you'll be appearing for, this particular topic is going to be relevant. Let's get started and understand about the Havisure vaccine and precise about the hepatitis A as well. So why we are discussing, because recently the Indian Immunological Limited, that is known as IIL, is a wholly owned subsidiary of the National Dairy Development Board, have launched India's first indigenous developed hepatitis A vaccine, Havisure, in Hyderabad. Now for one day examination specifically, it can be asked that which is a particular organizations or the part of agencies that is involved. So Indian Immunological Limited. The vaccine represent a significant step for India's fight against the hepatitis A, which is poised to be a substantial contributions to the public health. Ultimately, it will help India, the part of import and even the dependence on the other countries, that the medical pharma giants will be reduced because we have made an indigenous vaccine known as Havisure. Now, you need to know some basics about hepatitis A. It's an inflammation on the liver that is caused by the hepatitis A virus, which is also known as HAV, right? This is a basics for prelims examination. The primary spread is when an unaffected person or the unvaccinated person ingests water or food which is contaminated with the fecal of the infected person, right? Even with the contact and even with the part of the person which is actually infected. Hepatitis can be acute in a short term, but if the part of infection continues, it can become chronic. What does a chronic mean? It means it can have a long-term impact, leading to certain part of medical medications and operations as well. There are different type of hepatitis that is operating. The viral hepatitis is the most common. The other hepatitis that is there, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, C and D and E. So there are certain different type of viruses of hepatitis that is operating. I'll tell you the other details about that as well. But before that, let's understand about some basic facts that is relevant for hepatitis. It's a viral infection that infect liver, and it may have a several week. It can continue for several weeks, and most people can recover, and other people cannot recover, landing to the hospital, and other part of critical is essential required. The preventable with the care hand washing. There's something which you need to have is to maintain the part of hygiene cleaning from the part of area which is infected, right? Symptoms include nausea, vomiting. It's spread through the part of direct contact with an individual, food and beverages, the utensils that you'll be using. So you need to ensure that any infected person or the individual who is healthy should not be come in contact with the person affected with the hepatitis A. Now, if you look at the vaccine doses which was recently developed, so there are two doses of vaccine. The first is administration at the above of 15 of the age, and the second is 6 months after the first dose. So this is the time interval which is mandatorily required. The vaccines is recommended for child as a part of the routine immunization, as well as for the individual at the risk exposures to travel the region with the high speed of the hepatitis. So this is something, the part of the activity which is there. So it is usually advisable to avoid the one individual who is infected with this particular virus. Now, the hepatitis virus, something which you need to know is the A, B, C, D, and E. How does it spread? These are the different type of hepatitis. There can be a questions from any one of them. So first about A, how does it spread? It spreads through the contaminated water. The prevention is vaccine, and the treatment, there's no specific treatment as such. When it comes to hepatitis B, this something happened when it comes to the contact with the person through the blood transfusion or with any infected person. We have vaccines. We have the practice for safe sex, having the blood screening. This can be done, and combinations of antivirus therapy can be used to have a treatment for such. Now, when it comes to hepatitis C, this is basically a blood to blood contact which is there, which have to have the part of avoiding the part of needles and other injections which we are having. The part of combinations therapies must be acted as an antivirus, which is also known as DDAs. Now, contact with infected blood with only with the person having the hepatitis B, this can lead to hepatitis D. The vaccine is the same, which goes with the hepatitis B, and the treatment is interferons. Now, when it comes to hepatitis E, the part of contamination, water and food is common, right? And practicing good hygiene is the only way out. This is a preventive measures that you need to take, and something in general, you need to ensure that you're not coming in contact with the individual infected with this. There's no specific medication to this, only a supportive care can be given. So these were the 5 type of hepatitis: A, B, C, D, and E. So this is a chart which will give you the basic understanding about the various type of hepatitis. If a questions come from any of the hepatitis or in general about the hepatitis, you will be easily able to answer. And the vaccine which we have talked about, the Hevisure, is something relevant from the examination perspective. So this was all about for the topic. Hope you like it. We'll be coming up with the more informative videos on such important topic from the examination perspective. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying tuned.